Welcome back to another episode of Sound 101. Today's episode is all about the sound bag, and we're going to break it down so you know exactly what went into this build. So guys, this is actually my real sound bag. I actually built it all out and actually posted photos up on my Facebook of me actually, this is the rig I use. This is real. So we're going to tell you what's actually in my bag, why I use it, how I built it, why it's wired up the way that it is wired up, so you guys can have a better understanding. So when you get to the stage in your life where you're like, I want to get an audio bag, this is what we did. So first things first, I want to talk about the Zoom F8. I've actually undone the Velcro here so you guys can see it, but let me show you what's right here. I've got a strip of Velcro right there actually on the actual F8. So when it sticks to the wall, it actually sits up a little bit higher. I'm actually using the straps on the side, and hear that? That's Velcro on the very top. So again, when I put this bag in there, I Velcro it, and it's closed, and it stays. So this isn't opening up, my flaps aren't going crazy on me. It sits exactly where I need it to be. Even though this bag is tailored for the F8, I found stock bag a little bit on the loose side, especially after, I think 3 years of owning this. So by putting a bunch of Velcro there, it really holds this very nicely in place, as well as keeps this from sinking down in the bag. Why is sinking down in the bag a problem? Well, let's actually look at the bottom side of this audio bag and what I've done there. First thing you can see, there was a strap for some odd reason in this bag that actually went across right here. I don't know why it did that, but I just immediately cut it. That way I can get access to my battery compartment as well as all my time code. Without that, I mean, this thing would just be sitting right up against this, and these little time code things would get smashed every single time I put that on the ground. So by elevating the F8 in the actual bag, it gave a little bit of cushion for this bag to take the blunt instead of it hitting the F8. Now the next important part about a bag is the receivers in the bag. Keep them organized and you will actually have a better day. So the way I have it is channel 1, 2, 3, and 4 wireless, but that's not how I have them here. First thing you'll notice is actually a bigger knob on my track 1. That's actually a 3D print. You can find it on Thingiverse. People make these and you can 3D print them. They don't cost that much, and I glued it right there to my knob. That's my boom track. So I still hardwire my boom on input 1. Inputs 2, 3, 4, and then 5 is actually the wireless. So even though it's inputs 2, 3, 4, and 5, it's channels 1, 2, 3, and 4 in wireless land. You kind of have to keep all that track in your head and on your sound report. So this is actually tracks 2, 3, 4, and 5, because remember, input 1 is my boom. So actually on my metadata on what I label my little transmitters, I'll actually put that. Hey, your track channel number 2, your channel number 3. And that way, when someone like my utility operator says, oh, hey, by the way, channel number 4's transmitter is not working so good, can you give it a solo and give it a listen? I can actually hit the PFL button for track 4 and actually know that's technically this transmitter right here. That way everyone on set knows exactly what my track names are, and then my metadata, it all lines up and makes sense. If that makes sense to you, then we're already 2 steps ahead and we can move on. If that doesn't make sense to you, think about this. Track 1 doesn't exist. It's the boom track, right? 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Simple as that. Now the actual wiring of these, again, more Velcro, adding the Velcro to both sides. This way, when I stick these things in here, they don't sit there and rattle. It takes stress off the bottom. There is plenty of space for these particular ones to sit in this particular bag. Whatever you have, whatever receivers you have, you may want to look at how you can make it so these things sit in a way so you don't crush any of your connectors if you have bottom-facing connectors. If you have top-facing connectors, don't forget the way of routing your cables around here so that it dips into your bag as quick as possible so you don't have weird like loops. Kind of like what we have over here. As soon as it comes out, it goes straight into the bag. But we have bottom facing ones, so we don't have that as a problem. You will notice I do have these synced up and slaved together using the USB-C sync cable. I've got 3 wires going this direction. I've got my B wire going this direction to this side of my bag. It's all tucked up underneath. It's all done well. So when I put these units back in and they sit, and I kind of close it all up, push on that Velcro, and then when I bounce it around, those wireless receivers are not moving. That's something you need to think about when you design your bag. You may not have these receivers. You may have another brand's receivers. And if you do, think about how you can put Velcro on them to attach it permanently in the bag setup so they don't rattle. The last thing you want to do is get a hold for sound and you end up being the sound. Now let's look at the battery system. Now I'm gonna pull this all out. It's very complicated. I'm gonna unplug my battery first. And this is my BDS system. Let's move this audio back so you guys can see that here at home. I've got a voltmeter, gives me a readout, and I just get a readout as soon as I supply power to that. Whenever I supply stuff into my battery, it goes into this 4 pin, so I can plug this into big batteries, small batteries, whatever I need to. I can go in, then I have 5 outputs that are on a toggle switch. I've also got a USB to 12 volts coming out of this audio bag. Again, Velcroed, sticks right on, nothing rattles. Now I'm going to show you some secret sauce so that you may want to build one of these on your own, because you can tell this is a DIY model. And we may even get into building that guy in future videos. But right now I'm running everything on 12 volts, and this is my BDS system using fuse wire and that toggle switch. We see videos every single week. Oh, this is my latest camera rig. I've got this battery, done it, built into this thing over here and all that stuff. I can hot swap and all that stuff. I can actually hot swap here too. If I were to take this battery out, which also has Velcro, you can see I love Velcro. Pull this battery out. Even this guy has Velcro on it, so when it sits in there, it doesn't rattle around. It's knocked side to side. Once this battery, is done at the end of the day, I can put it aside, grab another one, pop it in my bag. And these receivers have built-in batteries. This guy has a built-in battery, and I can do hot swaps here too with this particular build. Now, at the end of the day, every build is different. You need to build it for what you need it to do. If you need receivers that don't run off this, they run off, say, 5 volts, you may not need a BDS system. You may need just a nice USB battery with a bunch of outputs. So that is the audio bag breakdown. I mean, we've got some pretty basic components in this particular audio bag. It's not a lot of complicated stuff. I think it's a lot of stuff that a lot of people can buy if they think, how is this all going to get wired up? You tell us in the comments below, what is it we're missing in this audio bag that you want to know more about? Again, it's a pretty simple build. It's about signal routing. It's about power routing and kind of keeping in mind on how everything is integrating with itself so that you use the bare minimum amount of cable needed to get this to be as light as possible. So if these tips helped you in the way that I've built my audio bag and got you thinking about how you could build your audio bag, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe on all of our social media platforms. We post videos like this all the time, and if you like this one, hit that bell for notifications. We post new ones up every single Monday. I'm Andrew from Deity Microphones. Thank you for watching.